their father served in Nkrumah's government, and so they hold a certain pride being CPP. Now she says, look, she's no longer a member of the CPP. She's no longer General Secretary. In the coming days, we will know where her political allegiance is. So has she always had a certain eye on a certain political party? Those are questions that people are asking out there on the streets. That, okay, did she have one leg out? Or was she here? Was she there? Where is it? Is it NDC, MPP, PNC? Would it be with another Nkrumah's from GCPP, any of those other party? Or will it be the NDC or MPP? People are asking those questions. And once those questions start popping up, I mean, you are the chief scribe of a party. Then all of a sudden you are asked to resign, or you are kicked off, or whatever it is. And then the next minute, right there and then, you are saying that you will, what do you call it?
Let us know where your new political affiliation
before
will be.
Naya Janta, before them, there was Niyama Confran, you remember? Asani. You remember that? They also were pushed out literally.
Because if you say, or maybe allude to, or you have the opinion that maybe she had one leg in, one leg out. For me, I never got that from her communication. For me, all throughout the year, she's been, touting CPP. And, she's a regular on TV3's New Day.
Thursdays.
On Thursdays, when the women take over. And like I say, all throughout the year, that's been the position that CPP needs to come in and change the game. That's the third force that we're looking for. So for me, this comes as a shock. I was looking at that a news article on 3news.com thinking that Naya Jantuah, and for me as a woman in politics, I thought what she was doing was quite good, putting herself out there and being quite emphatic with her views and her opinions. She says she'll let us know where her political leanings are. I'm not going to say where I think or I believe that we might see Naya Janta in the coming weeks, but
she'll join the NDC.
But she's been on air saying that both the NDC and the MPP have
the main objective.
Or she coming to remove her mask? Is she the mask?
The main objective of any political party.
Speaking to the microphone for me.
Is to organize, mobilize individuals to capture power to rule.
That's right.
The main objective. Where she sits, and with all the wranglings, she doesn't think that the CPP is in the position or pole position to grab power anytime soon. And the way the CPP and the MPP are historically, I don't see her going to the MPP. I mean, if you look at the political history of this country, so I'm sitting here, I'm looking at her, and the way she spoke, that we're going to know her political leaning.
I mean, we also have the Alan Tremanting butterfly movement.
We'll come to that. Let's speak to Nanaya's former deputy, who's now interim general secretary, and he was at the 3FM Afro Connect representing Naya Janta, Kwame Nkrumah Bocho, son of the great Bocho himself. Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, and good morning to your cherished listeners as well.
Your boss is no longer with your party. First of all, your reactions.
I wouldn't say he's no longer with the party. Today, at the National Executive Council meeting, the delegates there unanimously voted to remove all the national executives from power. And what happened is that there cannot be a vacuum. So there and then, the National Executive Council appointed an interim council to steer the affairs of the party. I believe that Comrade Naya Janta is a great asset to the CPP and any party for that matter. And we wouldn't want her to join any party. Indeed, what has happened is that it is all the executives that were removed, not just her. And as far as I know, she's still a member of the great CPP, the father's party.
Mr. Bocho, listen to Naya. Listen to her carefully, please.
Okay.
I put it on record from today that I am not the General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. In due course, I am going to let everybody know where my political leanings and allegiance will be.
Is that enough to say she's still with the CPP?
Well, that is a clear indication that she's no more the General Secretary. And she said that she will, in due course, let us know where her political leanings will be. But that is not an express statement. She has left the CPP. What she made express is that she's no more the General Secretary.
So let me get something from you, Mr. Bochio. You are part of the former executive. In fact, you are deputy to Naya Janta. And all the executives were asked, to go, but you are still there in acting capacity. It must be very special.
Well, I wouldn't say that I am special. It is the NEC who looked at the current circumstances and who selected those that they feel will be the right leadership for what we are going through. But I believe that every circumstance pertaining in any era deserves a certain caliber of leaders. And they believe that those who were selected yesterday are those who can steer the affairs of the party through what we are going through at the moment.
Now, today is the 6th of December. A year away from now, tomorrow, we will have the general elections. And then already you have your executive who have watered the ground, who have crisscrossed the country, going away for a new set of faces. Are you serious in being the third force of the Republic of Ghana?
We are. And we believe that the executives who have been removed have not been expelled from the party. And we know that they will still carry on with us with the good work that we are doing. Indeed, we considered all these things, and NEC felt that after NEC, if they continue in office, as much as they had done a lot of good work, it wouldn't help us to achieve our aim of going to the Jubilee House come December 2024. That is why they were removed. So it was a question of between, as you say, a rock and a hard place, or the devil and the deep blue sea. And they realized that they just had to cut their losses and do what would be in the supreme interest of the party and the nation at large, looking at the current circumstances that we find ourselves. So NEC really had no choice.
So the Nana Akosua Frimpoma Saponkoma administration, were you guys doing a bad job to the extent that the party would say all of you should go away? What was the reason for your sack?
I would say that all the executives were doing a good job in their own right. However, for leadership to move ahead effectively, there should be unity. When the factionalism becomes too much, it becomes an albatross on the neck of the party. And at a point, they were all working well in their own right, but were not providing that united front that was necessary to take us where we believe the country should be going. So admittedly, there was nothing that could be done, because you can have all the expertise available, but in the absence of unity and oneness of mind, nothing can be achieved. That is what NEC had decided, that all the evidence over the past 3 years, it was evident that there was no way they could work together. They were very talented, yet in their own right. They were not a team that would win upcoming match from 7 December 2020.
This will not be the first time a general secretary of the party has been shown the exit. Niyama Konfra comes to mind. There's also Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe Kabila, who Naya Janta replaced. It looks like the CPP has a problem with general secretaries, and is that the case?
Well, I wouldn't say so, because if you look at what happened yesterday, all the executives were removed, not just Naya Janta, my senior comrade. All the executives were removed. And of course, in the past, Myanmar, Confra, and Kabila, all of whom I served under, were removed as general secretary, but they didn't go on their own. When Kabila was removed, the acting chairperson was also removed. And when Myanmar Confra was removed, own senior comrade Ernesto was also removed along with him. So as much as general secretaries are removed, it is not an issue of this being removed alone. Other party officials have, if I may say, have always gone along with them. But of course, we know that the general secretary is very important in the party, and a lot revolves around them. So it's not necessarily about the general secretary. It's just about the mode of operation of things in the city, where the citizenry always comes first. It is not the party that comes first. It is the citizenry and the country that comes first, and the party comes second. So anytime we see that there's a situation where the direction of the party is not something that will benefit the country and the citizenry at large, we always do what we have to do to get the party back.
So if I get it, it looks like the CPP only elects or appoints to disappoint, because the trajectory you're taking me through, I mean, if you continue on that tangent, how the people solidify the grounds in order for them to win the votes that you so need in order to come back to power after Nkrumah was overthrown?
If we look at the current interim council, they are very useful and exuberant members of the party. A lot of whom served under the past administration. And we have gathered enough experience, not only in this administration, but in the past administrations as well. And we have always in the background. We have always worked in the background, but I feel at this point in time, we would have to come to the forefront. And it is not an impossible thing. The CPP has always been a radical party, even winning elections from prison, because the CPP is a very focused party, a very selfless and patriotic party. And we do not look at our personal circumstances or the circumstances of family and friends. And the history of the CPP right from its formation shows that we are the kind of party that always puts the country first. And even if you go around the world, I mean, there's hardly any country that do not find one place or the other named by our founder, Kwame Nkrumah, who founded both the party and this country. The testament to how great the party is. And we are a party of wonders, and know that we will bring a surprise come the next election. So we are not pressured at all. We have hit the ground running. We have always been working in the background. It is not an issue of now going to plan what we are going to do. We already know what we are going to do. And the moment we were appointed yesterday, we started implementing it. So in the next few days, weeks, I believe Ghanaians are fully convinced to come behind the party.
Well, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who your forebears served under or with, will he be happy with the way the CPP is now?
Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah would be happy with the decision that took place yesterday, because he was one person who took such radical decisions when it was necessary. And even my grandfather, Kojo Butio, 17 under Osagyefo. There was a time when Osagyefo felt that the direction in which he was moving was not in the interest of the country. So it's an anecdote in the family where my grandfather was getting ready for work and heard on the radio that he had been sacked. So it is nothing new in the party to sack people and replace people in the supreme interest of the country, Ghana.
But then you know this sounds a bit arbitrary. I'm giving you a trajectory of Naya Janta before that, James Kwabena Bonfe before that, Niyama Konfra Sani. You can add all those other people. It sounds like this is more antagonistic than it is progressive in the case of what Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah did, and the evidence of the results is there to show. Yes.
I wouldn't say so. Those you have mentioned were all removed and first second. Garden, my senior comrade Kabila, and the others who were removed because as a result of the court action and terms of settlement that were found, in which they agreed to resign. And with senior comrade Mark Konfra and senior comrade Enes, they were removed as a result of internal party procedures with the party. The current executive were removed by the National Executive Council from all over the country. So if you look at it, they are all different bodies which removed the executives at different times, which I believe is only a testament to the democratic and patriotic nature of the party. And I believe if all other parties were also to remove people in the supreme interest of the country, as we are doing, this country will not be where it is. Rather than following family and friends and scratch my back, I scratch yours. This is a party that keeps its executives on its toes.
But you need the numbers. Politics now is a game of numbers. You need the numbers, and you are pushing away the numbers. Is that a smart thing to do at this time?
The executives, regarding the numbers, the current executives who were removed have not left the party.
I mean, there's an example. Niyama Konfra no longer plays ball with the CPP. Asani no longer plays ball with the CPP. And Nestor Yeboah has formed his own youth league. Kwabena Bonfe is no longer with the CPP. Nabela, who is now was active. I mean, you can go ahead and look at the what do you call it? The individuals who either were asked to leave or left on their own because they were disgruntled, and then it keeps weighing down on the numbers that you have. And I'm asking, at this time when you need the numbers, is this the smartest thing to do?
I agree with you in a way, and if I may even add my own senior comrade, Naya Janta.
That's right.
Also left the party, and these are things that it has had. But I would want to rely on the proverbial story of the wars that they were all stopped by the opponent, but in the end he had his Rehoboth. What the party has been going through are issues that may have seemed like failure. That's when you have to go through such of instability in input for you to have firm ground and take the country where it should be. So it is not a disadvantage as such, because there are many people who tell you that great institutions are born in times of darkness. It has been through a lot of periods of darkness where it would seem as if it will get to the end of the tunnel, there's going to be light and something happens. But it's normal for every great institution, even the CPP itself, for it to have been first as its members went through a period of great instability. There's a UGCC, and even in the formative years of the CPP. So it is necessary that for every organization to achieve its objective, and which for CPP is only one, take the country to the commanding heights that it necessarily have for self-independence.
I see.
It's necessary for us to go through all these things.
Let me ask you to give us the list of the interim executive, or if you like, persons who are taking charge of the party at this time, that the elected executive have been asked to leave.
Okay. In no particular order, we have Maria Mikaela Puta. We have Semesa Mauto. We have Epe Agbenya. We have Galu Emmanuel, Godwin Okare Ado, Ista Abdul Salam, Alaji Ali Adamu, Dr. Akwesi Usompem Wakin, Ebenezer Kosi D. Alaji the Bureau.
You have to position yourself well for me.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
yes. Good. Go ahead.
Okay. Alaji Ista the Bureau. And then I myself, Kwame. There's also Elijah Adams and Kwame Nkrumah.
I see.
Member.
I see. And you are to act until what time?
We are going to act until July, when the new when we have our national executive election.
Don't you think that the persons who have been asked to step aside, who possibly may leave the party, as we've seen in the past, will take away with them their following or their constituency within the wings of the party? Of course, they have people who love them. Don't you think that could also hurt the party?
I don't think so, because what happened is, even before the unanimous vote to remove the members, some actually resigned. That's the executive members. Some resigned on the floor of the National Executive Council meeting. And they themselves saw that the situation that was happening was one of disunity within their ranks as executive members, and not a matter of incompetence or or any other issue within themselves or within the party. So I know that they will stay. I know they will stay and will help to build the party. Because if the party goes, it will benefit them as well, the country at large.
The founder's daughter did not stay with the party when she was faced with a similar thing. And many others. I mean, Nanaya's father served in Nkrumah's government. She, has indicated that she may leave and will show us where her political leanings truly lie. That should be problematic if the foundational members and the founding members and their descendants of same are leaving the political party. What will be left of it?
I believe, Naya Janta has not left yet. And senior comrade Naya Nkrumah, as much as she is not with the CPP, she's still a strong Nkrumah. And let's not forget that I'm also a grandson of one of the founding fathers, Kojo Bosio, and I have been in the party and I have left all these years. So these things are just, you could say, it's a family tiff. And for family members, they can fall out, they can leave the house, but they are not always at home within the party.
Okay. Thank you very much. Kwame Nkrumah Bocho is the acting or interim general secretary of the Convention People's Party. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
Great. And we'll go on to the other phone line. But first, listen to this.
I put it on record from today that I am not the General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. In due course, I am going to let everybody know where my political leanings and allegiance will be.
That's the voice of Nana Jantuah. She joins us on the phone line. She's the immediate past General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. Nana, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Nana, what happened yesterday at the meeting? Because we know you as the General Secretary, and all of a sudden we got the information that you are no longer the General Secretary. All of you executives have been asked to leave and block. What really happened?
You see, thank you very much. I heard what you said, that this action was necessary.
Yes.
Maybe you should have asked him how necessary was it.
I already did. So this was a sequel to an earlier question I'd asked him.
So how necessary was it that you target people and let them go? How necessary? If he's a lawyer, if he says necessary, you need to be able to tell us exactly what is necessary. But put that down one aside. That's my deputy. I appointed him as my deputy. And even somebody just prompted me that if it is on block leadership, he's also part of the leadership. He's a national officer.
I asked him that question and why he was part of the executive, but then he seems to have been selected to come and take your place. And he says,
and he's my deputy. So if I failed with him. If they are talking about non-performance, that is what I hear. Nobody has told me. But if I failed with him.
Do you smell fish?
Oh, why not? But it is okay. My dear, the point is that I'm from a political background. My father and Kwame Nkrumah, we both use uncle,
Grandfather.
Kofi Bako, Kobodis, all of them, they formed the Convention People's Party and brought Nkrumah from the UGCC to be part of it. Do you understand me?
I get you.
Kwame Nkrumah's resignation in the UGCC conference was done at my father's back because there was no table. If he is both, you are Jantuah.
So Kwame Nkrumah wrote his resignation letter on the back of your father because there was no table.
There was no table. Go and find out. At the back of F.A. Jantuah that is where Kwame Nkrumah wrote his resignation. My chairman, Saponguma Nkrumah, is also the daughter of one of the stalwarts. Samia Yaba Nkrumah has left. Same manner. I remember I had conversations with Samia, and Samia said, Nana, there's no need for you to be around. Today she is vindicated. I kept asking her, please come. She said, Nana, please, I beg you. Please leave. She told me. You get me? What happened yesterday? We had a normal next meeting. We went through the motions, other matters. We went through the motions. Then, my secretaries, 3 of them, the Northern region, the Bono region, and one other person, 3 of them came out and said that I and the chairman should go. I and the chairman should go. These 3 people. Meanwhile, then, among the secretaries, there was disagreement. They said they had a meeting. That is not what they agreed on. Earlier, my secretary from the Northern region has said that because we are women, we are disagreeing, and that you should let us go. But let me tell you,
was that a case? Was that a case?
No, how can you say I don't know how they always define that we disagree. Please, in a political party, every people disagree all the time. That does not mean that you cannot work together.
Right.
And if I disagree with you, it is not a condition for somebody to be sacked. And if I disagree, a committee should be set in place to find out why they disagree. If you really mean well. Then, when it happened, the national organizer in Solidarity said that if that is so, then all of us should resign. Then the next members came out and started shouting that, yes, all of us should go. I mean, I never uttered a word. A young man came to me and said that I have conducted myself. I didn't open my mouth. Because you see, I've been sacked 3 times. 3 solid times. I've been taken to court for contempt to be imprisoned. That I remember at that time, whenever I went to court and I wasn't coming home, like maybe after court I'll pass somewhere.
Right.
There was calls from my children, worried that I've been in prison.
See.
My dear, as I stand there, you tell me incompetence, you tell me I didn't perform. When somebody is performing or somebody has a function, you provide tools. If I'm a journalist, you give me a pen and a pad.
That's right.
If I'm a carpenter, you give me a hammer, nail, wood. If I'm a baker, you give me a flour. You give me an oven. So, but if I do not bring out good bread, then you say that you didn't do it well. Ask them what kind of tools they gave me as a general secretary. I finished my own office as a general secretary. Nobody bought me a table or a chair.
Are you going to take those things back?
Pardon?
Those things that you bought to furnish your office?
Yes, they are mine. I use my own money. I give it to charity or to somebody who wants to start, a young person who wants to start an office. Because you see, no thank you. I have done what I have to do. Even if I did something wrong, there's a process. Both ways, a lawyer, he's sitting there saying that it is necessary. There's a process. I didn't want to argue, but you see, this thing that he's saying that what is necessary? If, for instance, I did something wrong, there's a process. The law says that you take me to the CC, of which I'm a member.
Right.
The CC decides that I go to a disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee will look at it. Then you take me to NEC with findings because I'm a general secretary.
Right.
Before we went to the meeting, I heard that they were going to remove me and my member. But I didn't do anything about it because I thought enough. Maybe it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to cut a path to my destiny.
And which destiny is this? You want to share?
I don't know. I don't know. Because you see, when Joseph was sold into slavery, nobody knew that he was going to be the second in command in Egypt. God has a way of doing things. And when he does it in his own style. You get me? So,
I get you.
Me, I am okay. But to tell things like it is necessary, you have to, if you say it is necessary, you need to state exactly what. If I was incompetent, I was with him.
You're not the first general secretary of the CPP to have been shown the exit. Before you was James Kwabena Bonfe, before you was Niyama Confra. Is it a case with Green Street? Is it a case of the CPP with general secretaries and that people who have the guts, people who want to do things the way they want to do it are not seen to be conforming, and so they have to be pushed out? Is that the indication you get?
I believe that I did what I have to do. You see, this is my father's party. And my family is a political family. And I will not stop politics because somebody said they don't want me as general secretary. The children in the family are all coming up as politicians. And this is what it is. So yesterday, I've never done it in my whole life because I'm a Christian. And I don't believe in it. But I was compelled and I was so lonely that I entered my father's room. My father died in 2020 and sat at a spot where when he was alive, he was my best friend.
Wow.
So I had a chat with him. And I said, Daddy, if I did anything wrong, judge me. But I know you cannot judge me. You don't have any strength. Immediately I spoke, the room became heavy. When I entered, the room was very light. Immediately I spoke, the room became heavy. I said, Daddy, if for any reason I had a bad intention to be the general secretary of the city, judge. And when you judge, I know you don't have a strength. Judge through the actions of what they have done. Look, I paid rent 78,000 Ghana cedis from my own resources, 2021 to 2022, 2023, 2 years. The headquarters. They said I went to source for funds, and the funds, I got 4 years rent, and I came to pay 2 years. If you know how I use my own money to ask my friends to help me. I came to Kumasi, the Kumasi rent, office rent, it is expired. All the people who came there, nobody asked that where we are, what about their office rent? I paid 3,600 for 1 year. And my chairman too has paid another 3,600 so we have 2 years. My own money. So if I am incompetent, if I don't even care about it, will I do this?
Your party has been ungrateful to you. Is that the indication?
Pardon?
Your party has been ungrateful to you. Would you agree with that assertion?
That one, I wouldn't say. If that is what you think, I'm giving you the facts. I donated 20 motorbikes. Motorbikes that I bought for my own campaign. I was advised that it wouldn't be good. Now I'm no longer General Secretary. I can speak. That they should use it for organizational work for now. 20 motorbikes, 100,000 Ghana cedis at the time. That if I use those motorbikes for Okada business, I could have gained much. Or for even delivery, 20 motorbikes. I donated to the party. Other things that I have done, I don't want to talk about it. But today you open your mouth to tell me I'm incompetent. What tools did you give me to work?
Lead kindly light amid the encircling gloom.
Yes.
Lead thou me on. The night is dark and I'm far from home. Lead thou me on. Keep thou my feet. I do not ask to see. The distant scene, one step enough for me. What will be the next step for Naya Janta?
The next step will be what God will decide. When I left POIC, I didn't know my next step, but I went into politics. So the next step in due course, as I pray and I reflect, and as I spend time with my family and review some of the stress, especially some trauma came to them when I was going through these contempt issues and I was nearly facing prison term. I need to repair that. Some of the insults that some person will tell me I am a good for nothing person, and I will say it in Chiwuni Kununti Wuni Nyansa. Because I don't have a husband, I'm a fool. And I am evil. I am destroying the party. If I ask them, what have I done specifically, nobody can say. Some of the insults they heard.
Who are the people behind these things that you're narrating? So
at this moment, I don't really care. But I'm saying that this one was targeted against two people. Both you is my deputy. If I failed, he failed. If you are saying it's failure, if I failed, he also failed.
This is your father's party, as you continue to say.
Yes.
Would Papa be happy with you leaving the legacy that they built, which brought us independence?
Sweetheart, I didn't. They say they don't want me. I haven't left it. Nobody should have me wrong. They want me to go. They want me to resign. Go.
Will you stay with the CPP or will you choose another compromise front? Maybe a PNC, a GCPP, something that's related to Nkrumah?
You see, God, you see, Joseph was an Israelite. The one God determined his destiny, he determined it in another country. I haven't decided where I will be. God is the one who takes us. He carries us in his wing. And when he lands you in a place where he wants you to land. Maybe it's providence. Maybe God wants me to move on. But I have swallowed so much that I have been sacked 3 times. Petitions against me, accusations, rumors.
But you didn't show that when you appeared on TV, on radio, advocating for the party and espousing the principles and ideals of the party. How did you stomach all of that and present a positive image of the Convention People's Party to the public?
Because that is the party that I love. And that is the duty. My father's party, a party that I was grown up with. My dear, if I had any bad intentions, I could have gone to NDC and PP. They would have taken me. But I didn't. I could have gone to GCPP, LPG, all of them. But I said, this is my party. I remember when I was in PULC, people attributed me to all manner of parties, and I said, when I finish public service, you see my party. And I'm saying that for instance, even if I did something wrong, who gave me a hearing? I've never been given a hearing every time they say they have sacked me.
Not the Council of Elders?
Nobody gives me a hearing. I see there is hatred. I see I am hated. As if I am some enigma. I don't even, I'm not even, my dear. You can't see people insulting me. Somebody tell me I'm stupid.
What does your big brother make of all of the events ongoing? He's the head of the political affairs of the Convention People's Party.
No, because now they have formed an interim management committee. He's not part of the Jantuahs are not part of the IMC. This is our father's party. They didn't add my brother. If you don't want, what about my brother who has been in this party for almost 30 years? If you do not want me, what about my brother? And the Jantuahs are not there. This is the party that our father formed. We are not saying that it is some kind of legacy or some kind of this thing. This is the party. You see, when you go to MPP, it is built on the basis of generations. Who is Oforiata? His father was there. Nanado, his father was there. Obeti Bilante, his father was there. All of them go into their history. Their parents were the founding fathers or they helped, and their young ones are in it. So do you think that you've done this to me? Will each of my nieces, my nephews, will even want to be part of the city? Then I heard they said misconduct. Yes. I am surprised. What do they mean by misconduct? I don't want to go into it. What do they mean by misconduct? How did I misconduct myself? Somebody who carries their money to pay party rent. Somebody who carries their money, not even 2 days ago, pay another party rent. Think about paying rent, looking for money to pay rent for the party places. You see, the good thing is that, I am okay. I am not unhappy. But I don't want to hear certain things like, if you have done it, do it. But if you can't get a justification for it, just say it is arbitrary, you did it. Because the procedure is even wrong. Some people want me to go to court, but me, I don't want that. Because me, I'm a Christian, and I believe that when God acts, he acts very well. And that if you are guilty and you mistreat somebody, to subvert a man in his court, God does not approve of it.
I see.
Yes.
You have options. You have GCPP, you have PNC, you have NDC, you have Butterfund, you have NPP, you have LPG, you have GUM, you have all the other political parties that are available. I'm sure by now your phones have been ringing, buzzing. People are calling you. Nana, you have good material.
The media is now calling me because every media, you know me, I'm your person.
That's right.
I'm a journalist.
That's right.
The sympathy that is coming in. Last night I had a text message from a very somebody who is prominent in this country. And he said, Nanaya, you have done your bit. Move on. The one person that I cannot even look into his face is Kwame Sefakai. Anytime I go to UTV, sorry for mentioning another
it's okay.
station.
Feel free, please.
He will look at me and say, Nanaya, you are wasting your time. Leave. Why are you here? He's one of the people I cannot look into it right now because he tabulated for me everything that will happen in the end, and it has happened.
I see.
Yes. So I cannot look into his face because he told me. He told me as he met me at the junction to UTV, went to his office. He put me there and said, "You look, young woman, what you are doing, you are wasting your time." But if for this prominent person to send me a message and said, you have done your bit, move on. Yesterday it was very profound. But I am surprised that it is not a target against the Jantuahs. Why have they removed my brother from the IUC? Because you see, when the other people, the three organizers, who also all agree that we have all resigned,
yes,
they have co-opted them onto the IUC.
That's right. That's right.
So it means that their only thing was to get me out.
And you say
you cannot
mention who these they are?
I will find out in due course. But sometimes you see, I leave these things to God. I don't really waste my time.
Right.
Because you see, it's a lot of time finding out, and you hear a lot. Sometimes in all this, you hear rumors, and you hear people speculating. But if you leave it to God, He finds them and He deals with them. Me, if I find them and I deal with them, if I go and slap anybody, they will charge me for assault.
That's right.
If I insult, they'll charge me for abuse.
That's right.
But if God slaps them and insults them and show them, nobody can charge God for anything.
That will be spiritual. It could result in all manner of things, stroke and the rest.
I don't know. I am saying that me, I am a child of God.
Right.
And the only thing I know how to do is not fist cuff. I know how to go on my knees and pray. You asking me how did I survive all that?
Yes.
I was like a python, taking on everything. I don't know which other animal takes on rubbish and is quiet. I took on so much that there are times that even when I'm coming to media, my children will ask me, Mommy, why? I wake up sometimes to come to your station at 5 a.m. Because if I don't leave the house by 6, I'm in trouble. By that time, I call a few of them, they are asleep. Because I am on the way to TV. Seriously, did I really need to be on TV? Because me, I have been on TV all my life.
That's right.
And for the sake of the Convention People's Party, because you don't have the cash to pay for one-on-one, and we don't have visibility, I thought that being in media would give us visibility.
And it did. It worked.
Yes. So that one of the days that I was so happy was when Kennedy Japan mentioned MPP, mentioned CPP before mentioning in this. And I've heard so many people in these days mentioning CPP, call that I'm getting, telling me that they are CPP members, they want to come on board. If you do this, will anybody come on board? Because of hatred, because you don't like Naya. CPP people who have called me, I mean people who have seen me, and it's everywhere. The other members will tell you, because of the work we are doing, visibility. Then from here, we would move into the other sector. So you said this is non-performance. When I left my family, my children, even when my children are not well, I couldn't take them to the hospital because I would not be around. I had to take a neighbor to come to the rescue. Because today I was called that one of my children had been rushed to the hospital and I wasn't there. I was representing the city. I wasn't there. My friend's daughter came to spend time with me and got sick and was admitted. I couldn't visit this girl regularly because I was busy. I laid down my life. I didn't go there because I needed money. And now both you says what was necessary. If I failed, he failed. So if he's there, maybe all along he has dreamed to be the acting general secretary. He should not use words that has no foundation.
I remember the last Afro Connect event we had at the Nkrumah Mausoleum, the Memorial Park. Yes. You detailed him to come because when we called you to invite you, you said you would not be available, but this is your trusted deputy and that he would take your stead. And that's what you said.
Yes, I said it. I said this is my... And you see, the deputies normally are not even... Whatever I do, I call him. Whatever I do, I call him.
Do you consider this a stab in the back?
Of course, with both your own, I'm wondering what it is. Because it's somebody after my own heart. And if I was in his shoes, I don't mind. But, I mean, for me, it's like, what is the meaning of this? That if I failed, he failed. I don't want to go into detail. If they are saying that I failed, he also failed. So if not for the fact of hatred, if not the fact that you don't want the Jantuahs around, if not for the fact that you don't want the children of any of the founding fathers around, why is it like this? So they use him as a charade because he's a boat. So when you make that argument, then they will tell you that boat is here. That is the only thing. Because if you form an IOC and there's another Jantuah who has been around longer, you see, everybody left CPP, my brother stayed.
Right.
Akosa left, my brother stayed. He was in Akosa's camp. Indium left, my brother stayed. Abu Sakara left, and these are his colleagues, his people. My brother stayed. So today, even if you don't want Naya, what about Kwame? We are Jantuah. And it was only my father, my uncle KSP, was Kwame Nkrumah's right-hand man. He was the one who brought Kwame Nkrumah to introduce him to the UGCC. He didn't pay the fare. He said that I met a young man at an All-African Congress in London. The young man was speaking about Pan-Africanism, about liberation for the African continent. And I think it would be good material for the General Secretary. Besides, you see, then it means that there isn't a problem. Because Kwame Nkrumah, General Secretary of UGCC, was not treated well. So if maybe it is something antecedental, that all the General Secretaries have gone through some trouble. A Jantuah, another one exists. You might not like the other one. But the other one who has been dedicated all these years, stayed in the CPP, risked everything, lost his businesses because he's in CPP, lost so much because he doesn't speak. It hasn't come out. I will speak. My brother has lost so much because he is a member of the Convention People's Party. He's lost his contract because of what he says on TV and radio as a member of the CPP. And you form an interim management committee and you do not include him. Me, I am born. You don't want me as General Secretary. I've done what I have to do. I'm cool. Me, I am used to these things. So, because for me, it is God who directs the affairs of men.
So all the media appearances that hitherto you did on behalf of the CPP, together with your big brother, lawyer Kwame Jantuah, on major news houses, what happens to them for the CPP?
I don't know. It gave visibility, but I don't think that they even appreciate it. But if they did, when you have something that you appreciate, even when the thing becomes dirty, you don't take it to town for anybody to see that it's dirty. You brush it up, you wash it, you polish it before you step out with it. But if you step out with it in debt, it means you do not appreciate that property. So granted that I err. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Did you take me to the cleaner? Did you do this? Come and see yesterday. I was sad. I was very sad that my time, my money, my expertise, this is the reward. My dear, the 78,000 that I paid, if I had used the money to even go to a children's home, I would have been blessed. Or if I had used it to build a church in a village, it could have been enough.
Right.
A small church for God. Jehovah would have looked down on me and said, that is my son, my daughter, sorry. But I've used it because I also see it as work that God has given to me. So I need to do it well. It's providence. It's destiny. And once God puts something into your hand, no matter how rugged it is your duty to ensure that you straighten the edges for it to be befitting to be used. So what challenges that you go through, insults that you go through, events that you go through, dangerous things, rumors, you swallow, you smile, you swallow, hoping that it will be well.
Naya, it will be well. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Naya Janta there. She is a former General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. Yesterday, in Ashanti region, at the neck, she was asked to go along with the other executive.
Abandon me candidate. Me no kasa mprempren. I think say me madwene ni minsusuye eka ema me tibua etre me niema yi a me ye party ba me ye party ba no me nim party mrani party hihye ye party mrani tre say So what drink will say? Nyajidie na fa wo hoden ma obi fofra onye party no franka tunia o party dibre say party ba no kra no wa forfeit enti da mi bia ma no ka say na nado dan kwakofo ado wa ye niema bia esese ye ta na chi na mekọ akọkọ ye campaign ama no me kan wo unuapani kwa me Sifa Kai program so that day I forfeited my membership of the CPP.
So in plain language, in plain language to King Edward on Hello FM, Kabila is no longer a CPP member.
Yeah, that's correct.
He doesn't mind.
No, yes, I don't mind. Yeah. That is the fact. Now, me nyanya chum. She said, "Yeah, me nyanum binwa yeti CPP mua. Obeka se me CPP ni there, and so me support obia onya me party ba. I don't do that. I want to be principled."
Thank you.
Now, me as acting general secretary at the time, I didn't know enforcement of party discipline. Me forfeited by taking this decision, and it's a decision I took with.
And have you communicated same?
I don't have to communicate that. I'm not by. I have said it publicly. They know.
That was James Kwabena Bonfe, former General Secretary of the CPP. Helen, you heard Naya.
I did indeed. What a revelation that she made. And like I said before, we got on the telephone lines with Mr. Butio.
Yeah. Kwame Nkrumah
Butio and also Naya, that this year she has really, for me, catapulted CPP back into the spotlight, if you will. If you check out our socials where we've posted the link to the 3news.com story, there are a lot of comments on there saying, oh, what's going on? Why this decision? I've been watching Naya on TV. She's made me want to even join the CPP or be curious about the CPP. We've been hammering home the need for a third force or a third viable option that can really give the NPP and opposition NDC a run for their money. So, as she said, if there are other reasons as to why she was asked to take a step back or step down, those reasons I don't think have been articulated properly. They say misconduct as per that story. You can read it on 3news.com again. I don't know what that misconduct is.
Yeah,
and
she's asking, she's at the loss as well.
Yeah, and also that non-performance. And for me, I don't know any really of the others in the background. It's Naya Janta that I know.
And her brother.
And her brother, Lawyer Jantuah, as well.
And I would also add the national chairman because she's also been very vocal on a couple of things.
That's right.
Top three, but the rest, I
have not seen. I have not seen that. In fact, when you were away in SA, I was speaking with the team about really wanting to get Naya onto the airwaves because, of course, she's on TV. But I wanted to, delve into the history of CPP, her position, and what she's looking forward to in the next year because of that fever and energy I saw as she represented the CPP.
Right.
As a layperson, just observing the climate, observing her, observing the party, I'm not sure if this is a step in the right direction. Because now, if Naya goes onto the big stage or on TV, on radio, and so on and so forth, she's no longer, as it would appear after speaking with her, representing the CPP. I think they've lost quite an asset. She makes mention of how much money is out of her own pockets that she has spent and invested on the party. She says, as you need tools to carry out your work. If she hasn't been adequately resourced, she says, the coming days and weeks will be telling. How is the CPP going to now remobilize? Are they going to have somebody just as vocal to be the face?
And only question.
In all his campaign, we haven't heard him talk about the victims. You see, the last time I watched him and he was saying that, he's the one to beat President John Dramani Mahama. And I was like, so this man doesn't know that there are other parties in this country. Any one of them could come up.
At any time.
At any time. And your fixation is on one person. But I was also alarmed that then it means that the dynamics of politics is lost on him. His loss will come from within his own party.
How?
Yes. You think it is an easy thing. Sometimes I wonder whether we look at the body language of even the people around him. This video that you showed, when he said Kukrudu, I wanted to hear some response from, I don't know whether he was talking to a crowd or he wasn't talking
delegates.
To I wanted to hear some response. Maybe you didn't show it. But normally, if you mention a slogan of a party, you have to sounding voice. Nobody said it. Even the people sitting on the days with him. The only person who laughed was Chairman to me. I was watching their body language. So his laws will come from within. Because you see, people are not showing it, but there's a lot of resentment around this. I'm telling you, they are not being truthful.
How did you come to that conclusion? Naya Janta?
Because, of course, but you listen to people, we are in the political space. We are in the political space. We are not young people. We are not somewhere else. We are all in the political space. Because you see, some people in that party believe that this is not right. That to impose somebody on us. That's one aside. He said, Honorable Alan Chematin, you think he hasn't got followers in the party?
I got tired, missing my face.
3FM Sunrise.